Hello friends, it's Miss Nestrick. I'm so sorry that the video didn't work this week. I know some of you went ahead and did it anyway, but I'm going to refilm it so that you guys can see what I was talking about in the video. So this week, you are creating a background for your self-portrait. Now your background is going to be on a different sheet of paper than you did your self-portrait on. We are going to cut out the self-portrait and glue it onto the background. But first, you need to make the background. So that on a new clean sheet of paper, white paper is best. You can use the paper in your sketchbook, or you can use like white construction paper. Sorry, my air conditioning just turned on. Or any thicker white paper. We're gonna use crayons and watercolors. On your background, I want you to pick from two different styles of art. So in art, there is realistic art, and there is abstract art. Can you say realistic? Realistic art. So realistic art is art that is real. It looks like something from real life. So either it is something that you might see every day. Maybe it's buildings and houses. Maybe it's nature. Maybe it's something from real life. Maybe it's not from real life. Maybe it's pirates or unicorns or fairies. But you can tell what those things are in the picture. So you can either tell what it is when you look at it, or it's something from real life. That's realistic art. Abstract art is the opposite. Can you say abstract? Abstract art is art that's made with our first three elements of art: shape, line, and color. It only uses those three elements. There are 7 elements of art, but abstract art only uses the first 3. Line, shapes, and color, which is what we've spent the whole year working on. So for your background, I either want you to pick something realistic or abstract. It can be either one. I'm going to show you some examples. This would be realistic because you can tell what it is. There are things that you can recognize in this picture. There are people, there's grass and trees, there's an umbrella, there's a little monkey at the bottom. So this would be a realistic picture. An abstract picture, again, is one with just lines, shapes, and colors. So this one would be abstract because it's using just lines, shapes, and colors. Think about what shapes you see in this picture. Look closely. There are at least 3 different shapes that you would see. We've got squares, triangles, and diamonds. And these diamonds are really just squares on their side. So I'm going to show you a couple more, and I want you to tell me if it's realistic or abstract. What about this picture? Is this realistic? Is it something from real life? Or is it abstract? This would be realistic because there's snow and a carriage and reindeer and people and trees, things that you would see around us in real life. What about this one? Is it realistic or abstract? This one's abstract because it uses just lines, shapes, and colors. And this one really is mostly just colors. What about this one? Abstract or realistic? This one's abstract because it just uses lines, shapes, and colors. It doesn't have anything in it that looks like something from real life. And then this one. So this one would be realistic because it's got people running in the grass and there's a building behind it, something you would see in everyday life. So I want you to create a background for your self-portrait. You can pick a realistic background, something that you might see in everyday life, or an abstract background just using lines, shapes, and colors. After you finish with your background, I want you to cut out your self-portrait. When you cut out your self-portrait, sorry, I'm tripping over things now, you're going to use scissors. Remember our scissor safety. We want to hold our scissors by the sharp part when we're walking around places with scissors, so that if we fall, nothing's going to hurt us. When we use our scissors, our thumb goes in the hole, and then 3 or 4 fingers, depending on your scissors, go in the bottom hole. And then we open and close those alligator chompers to cut our self-portrait out. When you glue your self-portrait down, you can either use a glue stick or you can use a glue bottle. If you use a glue bottle, remember our glue rule. Dot, dot, not a lot. That means we don't want a lot of glue. We don't need puddles, just glue raindrops. So once you finish your background, make sure you let it dry. I would use crayons to draw it and then paint with watercolors on top. You can do it how you would like. Then when it's dry, cut out your self-portrait and glue it on top of your background. I cannot wait to see these. Good luck. These are not going to be due. This is the last thing we're actually going to do this year. So make sure these are turned in no later. Hard deadline of May 20th, but I'll have them due, I think May 14th, just on Schoology. So good luck. If you have questions, let me know. Adios, friends.